Hello and welcome to the Measure Up Podcast. My name is Andrew and I am your host for the next however long this takes, I guess. It's not that it's a long thing, it's just trying out a new format. And we've been gone for a while because I got a new system here, I got a Pro Surface, and we're trying out a new recording software. Hopefully that will sound a lot better than before, a little less echoey, etc., etc. So, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to do my reviews now of the comics that I read. And so I think I have 4 or 5 of them here because it's been a while, but still we'll talk about these. And then we have some other stuff to get into. And then we'll talk about the new format of the show. And that's good. So the first comic I reviewed for this show is Supergirl number 16. Overall, I gave it a 4. Story was a 5. Art a 3. And accessibility a 3. It's a great story. Jodie Howard's influence with women characters shines. Makes me want to read more from before and after this comic. I liked it. Weapon X number 12. I give it a 5. The story, I gave a 4 because it starts really slow. The art is a 4 and the accessibility is a 4. You need to know who Nuke is, but listen to Tales from the Dollar Bin for his story. Awesome legacy issue. They're really bringing on the heat on that one. And we're going to get into that a little later about Marvel and Legacy. I reviewed Batman and the Signal. I was pretty excited about it because I thought it would be great to see Duke in his own comic. I gave it a 3. Story was a 3. Art was a 5. Great art. Accessibility was a 3. You need to know lots of stuff going in. Duke has been around a while, so you might need to go back to learn. Lots of referred to that as important you don't know. And so some of these I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm just reviewing. I just wrote down all these notes while I was reviewing it. I know that I didn't really care for Batman and the Signal number 1. Maybe the story got better as it went on, and it was a 3-parter, but I didn't really care for part 1. It was really continuity heavy. Long Lost number 1. The story was a 5, the art was a 4, the accessibility was a 5. Overall, a great comic. Number 2 is out now. And then here's one I just read recently. Shiver Bureau number 1. I give it a 5 out of 5. Story is a 5. Art is a 4. Accessibility is a 4. I've said it was a great beginning to a tale that feels like will be long and great. It's a powder keg waiting to blow. I love the characters. You feel lost even though you know characters for a few panels. I recommend this heavily. Scout Comics. So far I've read a couple of them and I found everything from them to be pretty amazing. And that is pretty awesome. Let's just get into some news real quick here. So, everybody right now is talking about Joss Whedon and how he jumped off of Batgirl because he said there wasn't a story to tell there. And every woman from here to Kentucky has jumped on him and said, yeah, there's a story there. You just don't know what it is. So, basically, I kind of feel sorry for him because he should know better, I think. But there's a story there. I don't think he just didn't mine it very well or look into it very well. He did great with Marvel's Avengers and the Ultron movie, but I don't know, for some odd reason, saying Batgirl has no story is crazy because Batgirl has a lot of history, so I don't know what he was looking into. Maybe he just wasn't the guy to make it. Roxanne Gay now is in talks with DC to get the director's chair, the writer's role, or whatever, and I hope she gets it, because she offered to do it, and they try to talk to her. I'm going to assume they're going to get some big Hollywood guy, because that's what they're keen to do at Warner Brothers there. So, that's part of the news. Joss Whedon leaves Batgirl. And at DC, there's a pretty big shakeup coming along. A lot of people are talking about the Marvel shakeup. Sorry, I had to get my phone off the ground. There's a pretty big shakeup at DC and Marvel. If you've been living under a rock or you just listen to this podcast for news, then I'm sorry. But so DC has pretty much the rebirth is going to come to an end. They are pushing everything into a big giant event that's going to take place with their Justice League teams. I'm not entirely sure how it's all going to shake out, but there's going to be like 5 or 6 not Avengers, I'm thinking of Marvel now, Justice League teams, and they have to work together to defeat the evil that's coming into the world. And I don't know if it has anything to do with Doomsday or Doomsday Clock, or if it has to do with Metal. I really never read Metal, and Doomsday Clock, I read the first one, and it was pretty okay. Once again, continuity heavy, and if you're not into the Watchmen or DC overall arcing storylines, then you probably would skip that one. But right now, as it sits, DC is pretty much talking about shaking up their universe afterwards. I think it had a lot to do with Brian Michael Bendis. He's going to be on Superman books and Adventure Comics after this big Justice League shakeup. So we'll see what happens, and we'll find out together what happens with that. Now, meanwhile, Marvel, they got a new editor-in-chief, C.B. Sobolski, and the publisher, I want to say, retired too. So they have a new publisher. I'm not 100% sure which title he held, but they have these two new people in line. And so when Brian Michael Bendis left, he was one of their main writers. So they are shaking up their entire writing source too. I think the Brian Michael Bendis pretty much is the reason all these things are shaken up. So you can blame him for all this. I'm just kidding. They're ditching Legacy, and it's only been like 4 months. Come on, get real. I guess it's going to be 8 months when some of the stories start to switch, because it's going to be in May, June, July, and I think part of August. They're going to switch over to the new Fresh Start. They've already announced a bunch of new number ones for April. We'll go over them when we go over the DC, Marvel, and Valiant comics polls for, I believe, so this would be March, for May. For May, they started to do it. June is coming out, and there's been a few things leaked from Emerald City Comic Con, like a new Spider-Man series, and they're going to have a mini-series with Captain Marvel, the lady one, and just a bunch of stuff happening, and now they're having the Infinity, I don't even know what they call it, the Infinity something or other, where there's the Infinity Stones that are all going to come back together just in time for the movie to come out. Who would have thunk it? I'm getting tired of Marvel planning their events in their universe around movies. Let's go back to the old days when everything was just going on. We didn't have to plan it around a movie or a special event. Let's just have a good story. But we'll see. And the return of Wolverine and the return of Jean Grey. And you know the Jean Grey return's coming right around the time of the movie that Jean Grey is going to be in the Phoenix movie. So they just plan all this stuff around movies, and it just irritates the heck out of me. But we've gone over that in previous podcasts. Anyway, let's go to some more news that I have here on my phone. I put everything on my phone now. I write down notes and stuff, so it helps us keep all of our thoughts. Oh, we went over the new Marvel Focus. And also announced this week was a brand new Doctor Who, not trailer, but it was like a 30 to 40 second thing that showed the new forward-going Doctor Who. Usually when they change production managers or whatever they're called, showrunners or whatever, they have a big to-do about it. So there's a new logo, and there's a new logo and a new direction the show's going. As many of you know, they have a new Doctor Who who's a woman. Jodie Whittaker is taking over. I believe that's her name. That's her name. Now, I will be going to C2E2, and I'll be prepping for it. Next week's podcast will be about all the people that are going to be there, and I'll go over them slowly. Not slowly, but we'll go over who's going to be there that I'm excited for. And maybe we'll get to talk to a couple of them. And we'll see. Okay, so yeah, I was talking earlier before. We got a new laptop here. It's the new Microsoft Surface Pro, and it's really nice, and it works pretty good. Also, coming up here in the next couple weeks, we're going to be talking about baseball and the free agents that are still around near the end. We'll have a overarching baseball coming out. Another episode we're going to cover Everclear's Sparkle and Fade album when it was recorded. So, and then we will be covering the Measure Up podcast Top 40 later on here. I just got to bring it up here on the screen, and we will go down it for this week. And that will be awesome. If you hear me typing and stuff, it's just because I was pretty ready to go, but let's look at the full force of the top 40. In fact, let's go over it right now. If you're not into music, this is probably a place you probably don't want to listen. But these are songs that I listen to on a weekly basis, and then I put them in a top 40 based on how many times I listen to it. I use Last FM and I use crownnote.com. Both of them are really awesome, and you too can use them. So we're just going to go to the top 40, 1 through 40. These are the songs I listen to and the order that they are in. So we have number 1 is Too Good at Goodbyes by Sam Smith. I love his voice. Then we have number 2, Maroon 5 featuring SZA, What Lovers Do. Then we have at 3, Portugal, The Man with Feel It Still. Number 4 is Walk the Moon with 1 Foot. Number 5 is Maroon 5, funny, with Wait. My jam at the moment is Halsey's Bad at Love, and that comes in at number 6. Also in at number 7 is Halsey's new single. Well, she has Sorry out, but this is my new single for her, is Eyes Closed. I really like that song. I've been listening to Sorry since the album came out. I love her music. Then at number 8, we have Echo Smith with Future Me. I love Echo Smith. For some odd reason, I really like it. They also have another single out called, and the video is pretty cool. It's called Get In My Car. I really like that. Then we have Camila Cabello and featuring Young Thug. I'm not into Young Thug, but their song Havana. Then we have at number 10, Dua Lipa. I think that's how you say her name, with New Rules. Then we have number 11, Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. Then at number 12, we have Nothing But Thieves with Sorry. At number 13, we have SZA. I don't know if it's SZA or if it's SZA. Well, her song, The Weeknd. Then we have Khalid. And I really love this guy. His voice is awesome. He doesn't sing about the best stuff, but his voice is like, wow. Him and Sam Smith voices, that would be such a great duet. I usually don't like male voices, but these two guys have some really good voices. His song, Young, Dumb, and Broke. Then at number 15, we have Avenged Sevenfold with Wish You Were Here. Then at number 16 is Haley Steinfeld, who is another one of my, I love her music, with Florida Georgia Line, who I don't like, and Watt, with the song Let Me Go. 17 is Selena Gomez, Wolves. That's with Marshmello. I don't know how to, it's how it's spelled. Then we have Mo, I think that's how you say her name. It's M and a weird O, When I Was Young. Then we have Olivia O'Brien with No Love at number 19. Number 20 is Green Day, Back in the USA. That's a great song. It's off their Greatest Hits album. Then at 21, we have Him and I by G-Eazy and Halsey. I'm not a fan of G-Eazy, but I love Halsey, so that song really is pretty awesome. Then at number 22, we have Camila Cabello with Never Be the Same. Then we have Eminem featuring Ed Sheeran with River at number 23. I love, love, love that song. Then at number 24, we have Anne-Marie, Then. That's also a good song. Then a brand new one that I really, really love is Betty Who with Ignore Me. Love it. Then we have Justin Timberlake featuring Chris Stapleton with Say Something. Say something, say something. I don't know. I like that song. And if you know me at all, it's weird that I like these pop songs because I usually am totally into metal music, but there's just something about like some of these songs. They just are good. They're just well-written songs. And if you knew me as a kid, you would know why I really like pop music. I loved pop music when I was a kid. So at number 27, we have Khalid and Normani. I'm not sure how to say her name, but that duet is pretty good. It's called Love Lies. Then at number 28, we have the Chainsmokers with You Owe Me. That's a new song that they have. Then, here we go. This is a great video as well. We have Marshmello and Anne-Marie with Friends. Then we have, at number 30, OAR, Just Like Paradise. 31 is a new song, Breaking Benjamin, Blood. They have a bunch of great songs out right now off their new upcoming album. Then we have Shaman's Harvest with a new song out from their upcoming new album, The Devil in Our Wake. It's great. And then the Breeders came out with a new album on Friday, and I've been listening to that a lot. And so they're number 33 with Walking with a Killer. Then we have the Suicide Prevention song, and it's a great song, and the video is amazing. That's all I gotta say. It brought tears to my eyes. It's Logic with Alessa Cara. I love her voice. She's like another one that has a great voice. And Khalid, of course, he's got the voice in there. With 1-800-273-8255. And if you are depressed, that's a number to call. Then at number 35, we have Atlas Genius, which is another band that I really like. I like their first album or second album or whatever it was. It was pretty good. 63 Days. Then at 36, we have Playa with Adrenaline. Good song. Then we have Anne-Marie again with Alarm. I love that song. Then we have Zero Theorem with Area. That's a band to check out. They're called Zero Theorem. Zertheorem. And their song Area. That's really good stuff. 39 is Imagine Dragons, Believer. And then at number 40, The Bots, Blinded. Another great song. So just keep that in mind when you're turning in your Spotify or whatever, or your Google Play, which is what I use. Just turn that on and let it rip, and you'll find what you need. So that's the Measure Up 40. Of course, also Black Panther came out, and I couldn't have seen Black Panther the first week it was out, and I didn't see it the second week either, because I'm kind of trying to wait so it's not so packed at the theater. But I did see Thor Ragnarok, and I'm going to do a review of it next week. I'm going to wait till I can write down my ideas about what I liked and didn't like. For the most part, I loved it, but there's different things in there that you will probably want to hear about that I will tell you about. Well, that's all the news we have for this week that I have there with the top 40 and all that. But now we're going to go over my DC and Marvel reviews, and we're going to do something different here. My nephew gets previews now. So, I got an actual copy of previews. Used to do it on the computer, and that would like always break down and malfunction sometimes, and it was just kind of frustrating. So now I'm going to do it right out of the book. So if you hear me flipping pages, it's just me reading. And this is pretty cool right here. We got in the previews, if you go to your local comic store, they can order it for you. It's $3.99. Sometimes they'll even give you a discount if you order it, because you order comics out of it. But sometimes they put posters in here, and there's like a cool, there's a Harbinger Wars 2, which is coming out this summer, and there's a checklist for the countdown, and then it has the event countdown. I'll be getting all these probably. Harbinger Wars. And there's not really that many like side ones. I mean, because this is a great company for events, because they don't make 32 side different things. They might have the main event and then one comic book for each title. Like it'll be Harbinger Wars 2 Ninjak, but it runs throughout it doesn't run throughout the thing. So the Ninjak thing doesn't run through Ninjak, so you're not getting screwed out of Ninjak. Ninjak's going to come out in the month 2. So if you don't want anything to do with Harbinger Wars 2, you can totally not have anything to do. But sometimes they do tie in, and sometimes it's very, very like minor. Like here's Quantum and Witty number 6, and it's a tie-in to Harbinger Wars 2. And also this month will be Harbinger Wars Prelude. Once again, these are March orders, so you have to have it in by March 15th or 18th, whatever your local comic book shop wants. And then you can either pay ahead, which is what we do, or you can pay when they come in. We get a slight discount when we pay ahead, and when we don't pay ahead, we don't get a discount, but it's pretty sweet. And then, so see, like Shadow Man number 3, they're not going to stop Shadow Man because it's just new on the shelf. They're not going to stop it with the war going on. So Andy Diggle and Stefan Segovia are going to be doing awesome here on Shadow Man number 3. So these are all coming out in May, so you know. And the same with Exo Man of War coming out. Number 15, he had returned to Earth, Exo Man of War did. So what we have here is, it's pretty cool. Barbarians, Matt Kent and Trevor Hairsine. Hairsine is doing really good. He's the one who did Divinity, and I think he did a couple other ones. See, we have Ninjak number 7. Nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with Harbinger Wars 2. Nothing. So you can read Ninjak. Unlike Marvel and DC, when they have a series going, they make every series go right into the thing. That's what I love about Valiant. Then we have Bloodshot number 9. It's the origin of Bloodhound. So if you're into Bloodshot and you like Bloodhound, there's the thing here. Now this is a cool thing I really would love to get. I'm thinking about pre-ordering it. It's 768 pages. It's the Harbinger Wars Compendium. It's everything that led up to the Harbinger Wars, the original one. And then I believe it's the whole event too. Yeah, Harbinger Wars 1 through 4, Harbinger 1 through 14, and Bloodshot 1 through 13. That's what all led up to Harbinger Wars number 1. So that would be awesome. So, with that, we're going to go to the DC. If things sound weird, it's just because I'm like working on this and things will change over time. So, the sound will get better. I just don't know where to put the book while I'm reading it. So, I might actually record this somewhere else than in my studio here, because in my room, there's not a lot of places to put... There's a lot of places to put stuff, but I just don't want to screw stuff up. So here we go. DC Nation, 3 brand new tales, just 25 cents. So we're going to act like this is like I'm seeing it for the first time, because for DC I am. I've just heard little rumbles and stuff. But for Marvel, I did take a peruse through it, because I was hearing all the bad press about Marvel going through like all these changes. But I didn't think it was too bad. But maybe when they're done doing these changes, it will be bad. So... we have the Batman Wedding Prelude. Oh, this is DC Nation number 0. Just 25 cents. I mean, you gotta buy that. I mean, 25 cents. Even if you don't like them, it looks like there's going to be written... There's a Batman Wedding Prelude written by Tom King with art by Clay Mann, who's amazing. A No Justice Prelude. That's the series I was talking about. That's going to have a bunch of different Justice Leagues. By Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Joshua Williamson, with art by Jorge Jimenez. Great guy. Man of Steel Prelude, which is Brian Michael Bendis' take on Superman and Action Comics. Not Adventure, I said Adventure earlier. With art by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Cover by Jorge Jimenez. And the cover's right here, and it's got the Joker. It looks super cool. I can't wait to read that. Then we have Action Comics Special number 1. It's a one-shot. It's $4.99. I'm going to let you know if they're not $3.99 or $2.99. Only because it looks like Jill Thompson's going to be on art on this. And Francis Manapul, 2 of my favorites. It looks pretty nice. And we got Dan Jurgens, Minnesota boy, on there. Then we have a Superman Special. And looking good. Then we have Justice League No Justice Special Series. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to go back here for a second. The Superman special is $4.99 as well. Then we have Justice League No Justice number 1, and it's got like Francis Manapul doing the cover and the art. Same with No Justice 2, but he is joined by Marcus Toe. Francis Manapul did the art for The Flash in the Rebirth, and he was amazing. And then we have No Justice 3. It seems to me like they're copying Avengers, because Avengers had the series going on now where it's like every week it comes out, and it's like telling a big story. That's just my opinion. I'm sure this has been in talks. Well, that's cool. No Justice, it has Dr. Fate. It looks like Raven and Wonder Woman and the Demon and Zatanna. These are all different teams, so they're all doing their own thing, and I think each story is a different team story. So we'll find out if you read that. Then we have Doomsday Clock number 5, and it looks really cool. It's got a variant cover with the Joker on it. So then we go to Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn Loves Joker number 1 and number 2. Covers are by Amanda Conner, which is awesome because she's been doing the Harley stuff for a while. Then we have The New Challengers number 1, written by Scott Snyder, with Andy Kubert on art and Klaus Janson on art. It looks pretty sweet. It's got a vertical fold-out cover. That's sweet. Then we have The Curse of Brimstone number 2. I didn't do last month's because I didn't have enough time, but I might do it in a really shorter cast a little later. I'll put them both together. So if you guys care, you can go back and listen to see what's coming out next month. But if you don't care, that's fine. Then we have Damage number 5, which my nephew is getting, and it looks pretty sweet. Then we have Immortal Men number 2, and this is looking really cool. Then we have Sideways number 4, another book my nephew really looked into. The Silencer number 5 by Dan Abnett. That looks really sweet. Then we have the Terrifics number 4. The Terrifics number 1 had one of those fold-out covers. I saw it in the store. It's pretty cool. Aquaman number 36. And we have Mera, Queen of Atlantis number 4 of 6. So then we have Bane Conquest number 11. So that Bane Conquest is coming to an end. It'll be interesting to see what's happening there. Then we have Batgirl number 23, and that's a Hope Larson book. Then we have Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, and I believe this is the final issue. Yes, right here, final issue. That's pretty sad. I love Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. Great stuff since Gail Simone worked on it. Then we have Batman 46 and 47, and that's Tom King. Tony S. Daniels doing the covers. I might have to get those because I love his work. And variant covers by Olivier Copiel. He's the one who's doing a lot of the art with X-O Manowar 2, so that's really cool. I mean, when I say 2, I mean as well. Then we have Batman Sons of the Father, and that's a Christos Gage comic. Then we go Batman White Knight number 8 of 8, so that's the final one. Batman Beyond number 20, Dan Jurgens writing that one. Then we have Cyborg 22, and it's being written by Marv Wolfman. So that means I might have to hop on this one, because I love Marv Wolfman. He's one of my favorite guys. Then we have Batwoman number 15, and it's by Margaret Bennett, one of the greatest writers. I think June's is going to be the last issue of Batwoman. I think there's going to be an end to that. Then Bombshells United, 17 and 18, also by Margaret Bennett. And it's got covers by the Dodsons on number 18. And the art is by Sia again. Woo, yeah. Her art is awesome, even when it's colored by other people. The Brave and the Bold, number 4 of 6. The covers of these have looked amazing. I can't wait. Then we have Deathstroke number 31, and it's written by Christopher Priest, and it's pretty cool. I love Christopher Priest. He's going to be at C2E2, and I'm going to meet him. I'm going to go there. I'm going to tell him he's awesome. Then we have Detective Comics 980 and 981, and we have The Flash 46 and 47, still being written by Joshua Williamson. Looking pretty good. So then we got Green Lanterns 46 and 47 by Tim Seeley. And we got Green Lantern Annual by Andy Diggle. Andy Diggle's a great writer. Green Arrow number 40. And then a tie-in to Justice League No Justice. Of course, see what I told you, they're going to tie stuff in. Green Arrow Annual number 2. Then we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps 44 to 45. And that's got Robert Venditti on there. He's also done some Valiant work. The Hellblazer, which is Constantine's book. And that's Tim Seeley. Then we have New Superman and the Justice League of China. And this book, I think when it's over, is going to end up being like one of the top like underrated books. Because I don't see a lot of people buying it, but it looks like really cool each and every month. Then we have Injustice 2, 25 and 26. It's from the video game. Then we have Mr. Miracle number 9. That's Tom King and Mitch Gerards. Mitch Gerards. I don't know how to say his name. Mitch Gerards. I'm just going to say that. I always call him Gerards. I don't know why. That's bad for me. Then we have Nightwing 44. That's a Benjamin Percy. And then we have another Marv Wolfman title, Raven, Daughter of Darkness number 5, which is awesome. Then we have the final issue of Super Sons number 16 by Peter J. Tomasi. He really is like not very happy it's ending, but I think it's going to be something interesting. Then we have Red Hood and the Outlaws number 22, and the cover has the Penguin. Interesting. Suicide Squad 41 and 42, and it has the Batman on the cover. Then one of the awesome things in the whole world is Wonder Woman. And it's got variant covers by Jenny Frison Alert. Jenny Frison Alert. I'm also going to meet her at C2E2. I can't wait. Her comics are so sweet. Then we have Wonder Woman Annual number 2. I don't see Jenny Frison cover for that one. So then we have Wildstorm Michael Cray number 7. Then it looks like Young Animal. Cave Carson has an Interstellar Eye, number 3. Eternity Girl, number 3. Mother Panic, Gotham AD, number 3. By Jody Hauser. And then Shade, the Changing Woman. With a cover by Becky Cloonan. Yay. Her art's deliciously good to read. We have Scooby Apocalypse 25. Variant cover by Brian Hitch. Exit Stage Left, The Snagglepuss Chronicles, number 5 of 6. Future Quest presents number 10. And it's got the Herculoids on the cover. That might be coming Lexi's way because she loves... Well, she doesn't love, but we watched the Herculoids together when she was younger. Looney Tunes 243. And it looks like it's got Daffy Duck on the front. Scooby-Doo Team Up number 38. And he is going to... Dino-Mutt is on the cover. Oh, I love Dino-Mutt. And the Blue Falcon. Then Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And it looks pretty awesome. It's got a bunch of animals chasing Scooby-Doo. Then, let me just look and see here. And the rest is all trade paperbacks and all kinds of stuff like that. Some nice stuff from the older stuff. Looks like got some Neil Adams stuff being collected, which is awesome. Now we're gonna go through Marvelicious. I'm not gonna be sorry for being a Marvel fanboy. When I was a kid, it's what I read the most. But DC, like I go through DC and I find little nuggets of gold in there every time. But there's a lot of stuff in Marvel that I won't read just because it just is pushed out there for people to buy, and I really don't think it's not my gig. Like I think it was Phil Hester said it great on Twitter this week. He said, "Follow the artists and authors you like. Don't follow the company." And I've tried to do that. There's a couple characters I will not give up on, and that's Black Panther and the Falcon. I will not give up on those two guys. Even though I'm white, there's just something about representation in comics, and I went over it a few times about the Black Panther before the movie came out, how important that movie was. The same with Wonder Woman, with a woman director. It comes out, it just has to do well, and it does well, and it shows that superheroes are important. They're important. People think that it's just a dumbed down action movie. But when you see everybody has a superhero, but you don't, that really hurts. So when you see Black Panther on the screen and you see these actors and artists and all these people coming out and buying theaters out for young black kids to go see Black Panther so they can learn that there's a superhero out there for them, that's amazing. And that's a gateway to other superheroes that, it's great. Same with women. I mean, it's not as ironclad for women because women can be from any kind of, they could be black, white, yellow, green, purple, but they are 50% of the world, so they're just slightly over 50% of the world, so you really can't push back on them because, they're just as important as men. In fact, they're more important than men, if you ask me. Because 99.9% of the time, who raises kids? It's women. If you don't have strong women, you ain't going to have good kids. And for the most part, almost everybody's a nice person when they grow up. So there's something going on there that's pretty good. So we're going to go through Marvel now. I don't want to get off on a tangent because I'll go off and off and off on for 30 minutes. Anyway, there's a picture of C.B. Cebulski. He's the editor-in-chief. And he's talking about how Marvel is a new creative teams, new series, new directions, new beginnings. Blah, 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 the fresh start, and there's a new giant picture of all the characters that we're getting fresh starts on, like we normally do. And I'm going to bash Marvel here because they're bringing back people and they're getting rid of people. So, like, Amadeus Cho gone. We have Bruce Banner coming back. He is gone. He's dead. Why is he coming back? We also had a woman, Thor. She ruled the roost for so long, but nope, she's gone. Old Thor's coming back. What's going on? This is those little things that really irritate me because it's just, I just wish they would leave things for a while, like 10 years. Anyway, so we have a new Avengers #1, and this one is done by Jason Aaron and arts by Ed McGuinness. And this is going to take us back to the Avengers 1 million, I think it's called. But it's got all the old school Avengers, like the Lady Iron Fist and Deadpool from old times and the Black Panther and Thor and the Ghost Rider who rides on a woolly mammoth. That's totally cool. But there's multiple covers, like covers 1 billion through 1 billion and 10. Then we have Avengers number 2, and these ones, I think one is $4.99, of course. Avengers number 2 is $3.99. I think that's going to be its normal cost, because they always charge a lot more for number 1, which is why they make number 1s all the time, which is pretty stupid. Then we have Black Panther number 1, a new Black Panther with Todd Nihisi Coates. I always say that name wrong. And it looks like there's going to be 30,000 variant, with a variant covered by Oliver Cobell. These names are hard for me to say, I'm sorry. And there's also going to be a Jack Kirby variant cover, and I'm sure that's going to be one of the 1 in 100 ones where you got to order 100 of them or whatever. But that's pretty sweet. There's an interview here in the previews with the creative team. Then we have Donny Cates on Venom number 1 with the pencils and cover by Ryan Stegman. We have a Todd McFarlane variant cover, which is pretty sweet. And J. Scott Campbell variant cover, which is pretty awesome. That looks like it's going to be a winner with my nephew. He's a big Venom guy. And then we have Young Guns are going to be working on Infinity Countdown. We're still working on this. And not very much going on there. Just the Infinity Countdown number 1. It's Infinity Countdown Captain Marvel number 1. And Infinity Countdown Daredevil number 1 is Jerry Dugan is going to be writing that. That's pretty sweet. Infinity Countdown Darkhawk 1 of 4. Oh my word. My friend is going to have a fit. He's going to have a fit because he's a Darkhawk guy. So that's pretty sweet. And there's going to be Ron Lim variant cover. So I'll just order one. But the variant cover is totally sweet. He's fighting some galactic dude. It looks really cool. I can't wait for that. I gotta take a picture of that and send it to him. Then we have The Hunt for Wolverine, Weapon Lost, 1 of 4. I wonder why Darkhawk's getting 4 issues and like Captain America and Daredevil are one-shots. I don't know. Darkhawk must be getting more popular again. Well, then we have Hunt for Wolverine, Weapon Lost. It looks like it's Daredevil based, and it's got Misty Knight on the cover. We have Charles Soule writing it, and that looks cool. The Hunt for Wolverine, Adminium Agenda, and this one's other guys. And so then we have The Claws of a Killer, and these are all the Clawed people in there, except it doesn't have the new Wolverine in there. Looks pretty cool. That's 1 of 4. And then we have Hunt for Wolverine, Mystery, and Madripoor. That looks pretty cool. Jim Zub will be doing that one. Then we have Where's Wolverine variant cover by Todd Nauk. We'll be doing it's like Where's Waldo, but it's like all of them. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man number 800 with Dan Slott. And I think this is his last issue that he's writing. It's either this one or the next one. So, the cover's by Alex Ross. And the cover's really cool. But I guess... Yep, this is going to be Dan Slott's last issue on Spider-Man for now. It's kind of sad. Then we have Despicable Deadpool number 300 by Jerry Dugan. So 300 Deadpools wraparound variant cover. That is interesting. Then we have the Invincible Iron Man number 600. And this is Brian Michael Bendis' final comic book written for Marvel. We have a variant by John Romita Jr. and Alex Ross. And that's number 600 for... The Alex Ross one is really cool. You Are Deadpool 1 of 5. It's shipping weekly in May, so I assume there's 5 weeks in May. I'm not a big Deadpool guy, so that really doesn't make me excited, but I'm sure some people will be excited. Then we have Captain America 701 and 702 with Mark Waid on there still, and that's Promised Land parts 1 and 2, and it looks pretty cool. The covers do. Then we have S.H.I.E.L.D. by Hickman and Weaver, The Rebirth number 1 by Jonathan Hickman. Awesome. Then we have S.H.I.E.L.D. by Hickman and Weaver number 5 and 6. Of course, this is by Hickman and Weaver, Dustin Weaver. It looks pretty nice. Then we have the Incredible Hulk, 716 and 717. World War Hulk number 2 continues, and then number 717 is The Monster's End. Greg Pak is writing this, and the cover by Frank Cho is number 717. Looks nice. Then we have Quicksilver, No Surrender, 1 of 5. It looks really nice. Then we have Champions number 20 by Jim Zub. It looks pretty cool. And they're all about Young Guns. They always have the Young Guns in May usually, and they do like a lot of work in May to give them some work. Then we have Mighty Thor at the Gates of Valhalla number 1 by Jason Aaron, and the art is by Jen Bartel and Raymond Perez. Nice. Venomized number 5, Cullen Bunn series with a Mark Bagley connecting variant cover. Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows by Jody Hauser. This is number 19. Then we have Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider 18, cover by Kerry Randolph, an amazing artist. I'm going to see him too there. I'm going to talk to him. Then we have Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 304 by Chip Zdarsky. Spider-Man number 240. Brian Michael Bendis, of course, is writing this one. And then we have Spider-Gwen number 32 by Jason Latour and Robbie Rodriguez. Then we have Spider-Man Deadpool 32 and Spider-Man Deadpool 33. Robbie Thompson is writing that one. Then we have The Punisher 224. And there's a cover by Clayton Crane. Awesome. I love Clayton Crane. And Moon Knight 195. Max Bemis is doing an awesome. And there's a cover by Becky Cloonan. Once again, I said she was a great artist. We have Marvel 2-in-1 number 6 by Zdarsky. So that's pretty cool. Then we have Daredevil 602 and 603 written by Charles Soule. And 603 looks really cool. Then we have Runaways number 9. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it has Doctor Doom in it. Then we have Falcon number 8. I won't give up on this. Even though they just jacked him into a creative team that isn't top notch. Like I don't know why they just keep doing that. We have Old Man Hawkeye 5 of 12. We have Miss Marvel number 30. Still, G. Willow Wilson is writing that, and she's doing an amazing job. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 32. It just keeps rocking on. Great art, great writing. Doctor Strange number 390 by Donnie Cates. And it looks like this is going to be part of the start. The next month is the number 1, so you make... Then we have Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 31. The No Smoking Special. Then we have Lockjaw number 404 by Daniel Kibblesmith. I love that name. I told them on Twitter I loved it. Then we have Rise of the Black Panther number 5 of 6. I'm getting this one. And the covers by Brian Stelfreeze. Awesome. The covers are amazing for that one. X-Men Red number 4 and X-Men Red Annual. The Deadpool variant is by Brent Schoonover. So if you can get that from your local comic store, please support Brent. He's a cool guy. And we got X-Men Red Annual number 1. Cable 157, which is nice. We got Domino number 2. That's a Gail Simone written one. She is the bomb. New Mutants number 3. And this one looks pretty sweet. I'm kind of interested in that one. Then we have Exiles number 3. And this one looks amazing. Even though it's not like the top notch, like they're not like the top guys in there. But it's got a character variant cover by Mike McCone. But it's going to bring in the Captain America. That's Agent Carter from the video game Marvel Puzzle Quest. And it looks sweet. Of course, we got X-Men Gold number 27 and 28. It's the countdown to the wedding of the century. And then we have the X-Men Wedding Special number 1 with Chris Claremont writing. That's pretty sweet. Old Man Logan number 39 with a cover by Mike Deodato Jr. Then we have Old Man Logan number 40. Mike Deodato Jr. doing the cover for that. Rogan Gambit number 5 of 5 with Kelly Thompson writing that. Legion 5 of 5. All New Wolverine number 35. It looks really cool. Tom Taylor writing that one. X-Men Blue number 27 and 28 by Cullen Bunn. Then we have Astonishing X-Men number 11 by Charles Soule, and it looks really nice. Weapon X, which is turning out to be a really good series, 17 and 18 by Fred Van Lente and Greg Pak. Then we have Weapon H number 3 by Greg Pak. That series so far is pretty sweet, if you know what Weapon H is. Love Weapon H. Then we have Star Wars Tag and Bink We're Here number 1. I don't know an awful lot about that. Then we have this cool Star Wars Lando, Double or Nothing, 1 of 5, but it's the young Lando. I believe it's Michael B. Jordan. I'm not 100% sure who that is. I think that's Michael B. Jordan who's playing Lando in the movie, the Solo movie. Then we have Star Wars The Last Jedi Adoption, 1 and 2 of 6. That's being written by Gary Whitta with art by Michael Walsh. And they have like 18... No, they have like a bunch of different covers that you can get. Joe Quesada is writing a cover and all that kind of stuff. So lots of stuff for you to get for that. Then we have Star Wars Regular, number 47 and 48, written by Karen Gillan. And then there's John Tyler Christopher covers for those. Action figure variants. That is a cool cover for 48. It looks like Akbar. Akbar's cool. Then we have Star Wars Annual number 4, written by Colin Bunn. Darth Vader number 16 by Charles Soule. And that one looks pretty sweet. Then we have Poe Dameron number 27 by Charles Soule. And Dr. Aphra number 20. Then Star Wars Thrawn 4 of 6 by Jody Hauser. Looking nice. And that's it for Marvel for the month. Unfortunately, there's a lot of endings coming up in Marvel just because they're going to be busting out some of the new things. So another thing I thought I'd go over this week would be new books that are coming out from authors I really like that'll be out in 2018. So just let me bring these up so that I can view them. We have this book here. It's coming out, or it is out. It's one of the two. No, it's coming out. It's Doctor Who, the day she saved the Doctor. 4 stories from the TARDIS, but it shows 4 of the traveling people with... It has Rose and Bill. I'm not sure what her name is. I haven't seen the new stuff, and I know you can yell at me, but it has Sarah Jane Smith's story in it, so that's probably one I'll end up buying. It looks really cool. So then we have Star Wars, and it's a Han Solo Lando novel. It's called Last Shot by Daniel Jose Older, and it's a pre-episode 4, but it doesn't say like exactly when it takes place, so I'm not 100% sure like if it's... And then there's also one here, Most Wanted, which is Han Solo story that takes place... It's written by Ray Carson, and it takes place before the movie coming out. So if you read it, it'll be a prequel. And it's all in canon, so these are all in canon. And I didn't know this, but there's a thing of books written by Chris Claremont, and the last of the one is coming out this year. It's Shadowstar, book 3 of the saga, based on the movie Willow. Now, if you're not familiar with Willow, Willow's great. You can go over to the Nick and Vince podcast. They talked about Willow a couple weeks ago, so you probably get all your Willow information over there. But it looks really cool. And then we have Thrawn, Star Wars Thrawn Alliances. It's book 2 of the Thrawn series. Timothy Zahn is amazing, so if you can get a book, get the book. And I think that there's one more thing I want to talk to you about. There's a new YouTuber that I've been following, and I just want to tell you about her. She talks about comic books, and her name is Prim ASMR. If you don't know what ASMR is, I'll go over it in a few weeks, everything about it, and I'll go over some of my favorites. But I found her to be like really awesome, and I think you should go check her out. She reads comic books like in a slow, quiet voice. It's really nice to just sit back and listen. You can go on YouTube and just type in Prim, P-R-I-M, and then ASMR, and you will see she does a lot of different videos, but like recently she's been doing a lot of comic book videos, and I've been listening to them, and they're just pretty cool. You can tell she has a basic knowledge of comic books. She's not like the comic book fanatic or anything, but it's just kind of fun to see people that don't know a lot about comics like going off like that. about comics. So, just finishing up here. Things have been going pretty good for me. Got a lot of information saved up this week for the episode, and we'll be back next week, and I'll have more stuff saved up. So I just want to talk about two places, and I know there's a third place called Mead Hall Games. Let me look and see if I can pick that up. These are the places that I go to pick up my stuff, and I just want everyone to know about them. Alright, Mead Hall Games is in Minneapolis. This is a newly acquired place, around the beginning of the year, and it just got picked up by Level Up Games, but they're keeping the name Mead Hall Games. It's at 1425 LaSalle Avenue, Basement Shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and 55403. They have games, and they have some comics, but not a lot. I mean, I've never been there, so I don't know how many comics they have, but not as much as like Level Up, South St. Paul. That's like their comic main store. But you will see lots of games there. Like, my nephew went there, and it was great. And so you can call them up at 612-315-3945. And it looks like they're open noon to 6 today, so you can still get a hold of them. You're probably listening to this whenever you're listening to it, but anyway. So, Mead Hall Games, great place to go. Get some games played, and then they have a schedule online. You can go to meadhallgames.com, meadhallgames.com, and you can find out about games if you're in Minneapolis. Now, if you're in St. Paul or Eagan or South St. Paul, it's kind of the eastern side of the Twin Cities. You got Level Up Games in South St. Paul. That was really loud all of a sudden. So you got that at 207 13th Avenue South in South St. Paul, Minnesota. And their phone number is 651-493-9176. They're great for comic books, magic, video games, anything. You call them up and ask them, and they will make sure if they have it. If they don't, they can always see where, because now they have Mead Hall Games and they have Level Up Egan. They can find things really quick for you. And if they don't have it, they can put you on a list, and they'll find it for you. And I think if you ask them nicely, they'll mail it to you. I don't know. I've never had anything mailed, and I don't know if they offer it, but I think if you lived across the country and you needed something mailed to you, they would be more than happy to do it, especially if, you're paying for the stuff. If you can't find it in your local city or whatever. I've done that before with other places. So then we have Level Up Games in Eagan, and that's at 1004 Diffley Road in Eagan, and their phone number is 651-454-6018, and their website is, let me just click here. I always forget their website. You go to levelupgamesmn.com. That's levelupgamesmn.com. And they have a listing of all their games and all their events and everything. And I don't know if they have a Mead Hall calendar. No, they don't. I was going to see if maybe Mead Hall had something on here because, in case you lived in the east side, then you could. So they got the west, sort of, Minneapolis, kind of center-ish. Then they have the east, eastern, western, southeastern, kind of the Twin Cities of South St. Paul. And then they have like a little south with Eagan. They cover a lot of stuff. And when you call up, there's a lot of people that are very knowledgeable in what they do, and they help you out. And you can get a lot of stuff from them. And they like it too if you just walk in and look out and check some stuff out. Their staff is very knowledgeable and very, very willing to help you out. I found that when I can't find something, I go in there, and they're more than happy to order it for me, or they know where you can find it on the shelf, and just great customer service, and I have nothing bad to say about them. But anyway, they're not a sponsor of the show. I just always want to make sure to tell you to go there because they have always done me right, and I'd like you to send all your business there because if you're looking for games and stuff, that's the best place to go. Even video games. They got video games. You can't go wrong. I don't know if the Eagan store has video games. I think it does. Like I said, I haven't been there yet, but I'm sure if it's the same model as the South St. Paul one, they do. But I'm sure if you go to the Eagan one, they could have games sent down there or whatever, have it held at the South St. Paul one, so you can go up there and grab it. So that's the kind of, and it's cool because I think at Mead Hall Games too that you could go online, and I think they have a website that you could like look for cards, and if you find the cards, you pay for them online, and they hold them, and then you can come in and pick them up, or I think you can call and pick them up, whatever. It's just awesome. Anyway, I will talk to you next week. This is my new format. Instead of doing like 3 or 4 shows across the week, I just found that is very, very hard to do. So now on Saturdays, I am doing an hour-long show, or around an hour. So if you have anything you want me to talk about, that's great. Yeah, because now I have my phone and I have like a note-taking thing. So when things hit me, I'll be writing them down like notes and stuff. And I also have my new tablet/laptop, and I can have that around with me and record shows and ideas and stuff. So it's pretty awesome. Well, anyway, I will talk to you later. I hope you have a great rest of Saturday, Sunday, whenever you're listening to this. Have a great day, and continue to support comics and your local comic shop and gaming and everything. And so that we'll always have something to talk about. Thank you, and have a great day.